Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling a really significant shift happening in enterprise software.
That's right. We're moving way beyond just, storing data in the cloud.
Exactly. Towards a world where the software itself is becoming intelligent and, well, autonomous.
Driven by what's being called agentic AI.
Right. Agentic AI. So think of it like embedding smart AI agents directly into your business apps.
Yeah, and these aren't just giving suggestions anymore. They're actually making decisions independently, taking actions to get things done.
Which is a huge leap, isn't it? From the generative AI everyone's talking about, which mostly just creates content.
Absolutely. And for this deep dive, we've got this fascinating report. Agentic AI versus traditional SaaS, the battle for enterprise workflows. Our mission today really is to pull out the key insights from that report.
So you can really get a handle on this transformation and understand what it means, for keeping up with enterprise tech.
Because this isn't just about adding a few new features, not at all. It's pretty fundamental. It changes how businesses might operate at their core.
And the report really digs into this, right? Using industry sources, case studies.
Focusing particularly on the big players. We're talking SAP, Salesforce, ServiceNow, seeing what they're doing.
Okay, so let's unpack that. This fundamental change, this paradigm shift. What exactly are we talking about here?
Well, the fascinating thing is how we interact with the software itself. It's changing. Traditional SaaS, it was mostly systems of record, databases, platforms.
Where people put information in, started processes manually.
Exactly. But now, with agentic AI, the software itself can act on its own. It's a real shift from human-driven interaction to, software with a degree of autonomy.
Okay. We've seen AI assistants, chatbots, that kind of thing. They give advice, like a digital helper. But agentic AI sounds like it's doing much more, taking a more proactive role. Is that fair?
That's precisely it. Think of it as an evolution. We went from AI assistants giving info to these autonomous agents that can actually plan. Yeah, plan a whole sequence of tasks, carry them out end to end, and even, adjust what they're doing based on what's happening.
Wow.
And the really critical difference is their ability to use tools to take actions across different applications.
Oh, okay. So not just stuck in one program.
Right. Imagine an agent, maybe it classifies a support ticket coming in, but then it can also go and independently process a refund in a totally separate billing system.
That cross-application capability sounds like a real game changer. Is that like a key piece of this?
Oh, absolutely. And that's why the industry is really starting to talk about agentic AI as the next era of AI in the enterprise. It's moving beyond Q&A, beyond text generation. It's actually executing business processes autonomously.
So how's this hitting the big players, especially in, say, the ERP space? I mean, systems like SAP, they've always been these huge detailed engines for data and process, right?
Well, connecting this to the bigger picture, the impact on ERP is frankly profound. ERPs, traditionally very data-centric, process-centric, lots of manual setup, oversight.
Yeah.
Now AI agents are being integrated right into them. To augment these systems, take SAP's strategy with Joule. That's a perfect example. They're expanding it, evolving it into a network of what they call cooperative multi-agent systems.
Cooperative multi-agents.
Yeah, embedded right within their ERP suite. Basically, think of it as multiple specialized AI programs.
Right.
Ones that can talk to each other, work together on bigger tasks, like different teams in a company collaborating.
So it's like building an AI team right inside the software to handle complex stuff.
That's a great way to put it. These agents specialize for finance, procurement, whatever. They'll collaborate in real time on complex end-to-end workflows, which is way beyond what old school standalone bots could do. Those were usually for narrow, isolated tasks.
Right.
SAP is basically turning the ERP into an intelligent orchestrator of work, not just a static engine anymore.
This really shakes up the old software model then, doesn't it? If the AI is doing more of the actual work, delivering the outcomes, where's the value in just having lots of features?
That's a really critical point. Where is the value shifting? Traditionally, software companies focused on features, packing them in. Now it seems the value is tied more to the actual business outcomes the AI agents deliver, autonomously. There's an analyst quote in the report, pretty telling, says having embedded AI agents is going to be a necessity in 2025.
A necessity?
Yeah, for any enterprise platform that wants to stay relevant in, this generative AI market.
That's a strong statement. Sounds like the whole industry is moving fast then.
Incredibly fast. The report highlights this industry-wide rush. Salesforce, ServiceNow, Microsoft, Oracle, Workday, All the big SaaS and cloud vendors, they've all launched major agentic AI initiatives, mostly in the last year or so.
Wow.
There's a real consensus building that autonomous agents are the future here. Gartner even projects, by 2028, maybe a third of all enterprise software will have agentic AI baked in.
A third. That's up from almost nothing now, right? Less than 1%.
Exactly. A huge jump. And the market forecast for AI agents themselves is just, explosive growth. It really highlights the risk. Vendors who don't adapt, they could become obsolete quickly.
Okay, so fundamental shift, lots of market activity. But what does this actually mean for businesses day to day? The report talks about a potential productivity boom.
Yeah, and that's the big promise, isn't it? Significant productivity gains by automating a lot of that routine, time-sucking, busy work in our workflows.
Busy work, yeah. We all know that.
McKinsey did research, it's cited in the report, found potential for a 30–45% productivity bump in customer service, using both generative and agentic AI for routine stuff.
30 to 45%, that's huge. That could free up almost half their time.
It's not just incremental, is it? It's a massive potential shift in how human capital is used.
Can you give us a more concrete example? How does this play out, maybe?
Sure. Look at Auditoria.ai. They have autonomous finance agents. They integrate with platforms like ServiceNow, and they reportedly automate something like 70–80% of tasks like invoice processing, vendor inquiries, payment matching.
70 to 80%.
Yeah.
In finance.
Yeah. Which frees up the finance teams for more strategic analytical work. The report also gives this really good example of a product return.
Okay.
Normally, that's multiple steps, different systems, human agent juggling it all.
Right, I can picture that.
Salesforce actually demoed an AI agent handling the entire call autonomously, offering exchange or return options, then actually executing the choice across all the back-end systems needed.
Wow, so end-to-end resolution by the AI. That just cut through so much inefficiency.
Exactly. And SAP sees its Joule agents doing similar things, breaking down those silos between departments, automating workflows that cross finance, supply chain, HR, you name it. They've shown some early examples, like out-of-the-box finance agents for billing disputes, or automating basic accounting tasks, bill payments, posting invoices.
Seems simple, maybe, but those things add up.
They consume a huge amount of time in most companies, yeah. Tedious groundwork.
So it sounds like the AI agents are taking on that coordination burden, navigating the systems. But the report also says, importantly, this isn't necessarily about replacing humans entirely.
That's a really crucial distinction to make. ServiceNow's CCO is quoted saying, agentic AI isn't meant to replace people. It's more about working with teams, handling the repetitive stuff, gathering info, doing the groundwork.
Okay.
It's really framed as a human-machine partnership. Let the AI handle the routine operations, humming along in the background. That lets human employees focus on the strategic stuff, the creative work, the relationship building, things that need human insight, empathy.
Okay, that makes sense. So we see the broad trend. But the report really gets specific about SAP, Salesforce, ServiceNow, how they're actually doing this. Let's start with SAP. How are they tackling this shift?
Well, SAP is playing to its strength, which is that huge, comprehensive ERP footprint they have. They're embedding these collaborative AI agents, the Joule ones, throughout their whole business suite.
Right.
Their big advantage is the deep business context within their systems. Their AI agents have access to tons of interconnected data, existing processes.
Context is key.
Exactly. Philip Herzig, SAP's chief AI officer, he emphasized this. He said this rich context lets their agents handle much more complex, nuanced tasks than standalone AIs could. So for SAP, the key thing is leveraging that deep ERP context they own.
So because it's all integrated in SAP, an agent looking at an invoice error can just pull data from procurement, payment, supplier info, all seamlessly.
Precisely. It's all right there for the agent. And SAP is also planning to let customers and partners build their own custom agents using SAP Build. That starts rolling out early next year, Q1 2025.
An ecosystem.
Yeah, it suggests a future where you have lots of specialized ERP agents, all orchestrated by Joule, the central AI. But the report does point out a potential issue, or tension. These advanced AI features, right now, they're only for their cloud customers, Rise or Grow subscribers.
Okay, leaving on-prem folks out for now.
Potentially creating a bit of a divide, yeah. And analysts are also asking about the pricing. How will SAP charge for this?
Questions to watch.
Definitely. But regardless, SAP clearly sees agentic AI as, the next driver of enterprise productivity and a big differentiator for their ERP.
Okay. Now let's switch to Salesforce. Their CEO, Mark Benioff, he's been very loud about AI. Seems like a huge push there.
Oh, absolutely. Salesforce has made what the report calls a hard pivot to agentic AI this year in 2024, and it's all centered around their new platform, Agentforce.
Agentforce.
Yeah, it's basically an AI agent platform built to extend the whole Salesforce ecosystem with these AI workers,
Yeah.
digital workers.
Okay.
And Benioff's big push. It seems like a direct response to worries about AI native startups disrupting them.
Protecting their turf.
Pretty much. Their strategy is embedding AI deeply across their main products, moving beyond just prediction or generation towards full workflow automation driven by these autonomous agents. So for Salesforce, the key insight is this aggressive platform approach, building out an ecosystem of AI workers.
So Agentforce agents could handle
Yeah.
what? Customer support, lead qualification, marketing stuff
Yeah.
autonomously.
Exactly. The report gives an example of an Agentforce service agent. It could handle customer queries, troubleshoot using knowledge bases, even initiate account changes or place orders, either fully alone or assisting a human agent.
Right.
And they've apparently seen promising results from pilots already. Thousands of users at places like OpenTable, Heathrow Airport, late 2024.
So it's moving fast.
Very. Benioff talks about Agentforce constantly. He even joked about renaming Dreamforce to Agentforce.
I think I heard that.
They're also plugging Agentforce into their data cloud in Slack for context, for collaboration with humans.
Makes sense. Data is crucial.
Yeah. And they want to speed up adoption, too. Offering a low-code Agentforce builder, pre-trained agents for specific industries, it's a really clear strategic bet for them to redefine customer interactions and keep their lead in CRM and automation.
Okay, finally, let's get into ServiceNow. Their background is more IT service management, workflow automation. How are they using Agentic AI?
ServiceNow is using Agentic AI very strategically too, but maybe to broaden their reach, expand across more enterprise functions. Their big releases, Xanadu and Yokohama, late 24, early 25, they introduced a lot of pre-built AI agents and developer tools.
Pre-built agent.
Yeah, their approach seems focused on embedding specialized agents into specific workflow areas right out of the box for immediate value, like Yokohama had security ops AI agents for incident response, autonomous change management agents, proactive network maintenance agents, things like that.
Very specific roles.
Exactly. Their goal seems to be delivering, quote, productivity and predictable outcomes from day one on a single platform. So for ServiceNow, the key thing is maybe these out-of-the-box domain-specific agents.
And how does that connect to their platform?
Well, think of their workflow data fabric as kind of the central nervous system. It gives the agents the info they need from across different ServiceNow modules to make decisions and act.
Okay, so they're providing these ready-made agents, but also tools to build your own.
That's right. They launched an AI agent studio for users to build and customize agents, and an AI agent orchestrator for managing more complex multi-agent processes. It's all supported by that workflow data fabric, making sure the agents have the data they need.
Yeah.
ServiceNow's ambition seems pretty big here. They want to be the platform for managing any kind of workflow automation agent under unified governance.
Expanding their scope.
Definitely. And interestingly, they're moving into areas like CRM, too, introducing AI-powered self-service portals for sales and order management in 2025.
So competing more directly with Salesforce, perhaps.
Potentially. One analyst, Scott Bickley, suggests ServiceNow sees a chance to grab legacy CRM customers, companies struggling with complex old systems, offering them a fresh start on a modern AI platform.
Interesting angle.
Yeah, it's clear ServiceNow is using agentic AI and its modern platform as a competitive weapon. They have that strong base in IT and ops, which lets them link IT events to business outcomes really well.
It really sounds like the lines between software categories are blurring.
The report definitely concludes that. AI agents are letting these platforms stretch into new workflow areas.
So fascinating to see the different angles from SAP, Salesforce, ServiceNow, all using agentic AI, but differently. What are the common goals here? What's everyone trying to achieve?
Well, the report points to a few key common threads. Boosting productivity through automation, that's huge for everyone. Breaking down those data silos that plague so many organizations.
Yeah, always a goal.
And improving the user experience. Less manual work, fewer repetitive tasks. And they're all providing tools for extensibility, customization, because they know they can't build every possible agent themselves.
Right. And it sounds like agentic AI isn't just a side project anymore. It's core strategy.
Oh, absolutely central. Vendors aren't just adding AI features anymore. They're fundamentally rethinking their product roadmaps around AI capabilities. The report even notes SST is using the word workflows a lot more in its messaging.
Potentially challenging ServiceNow on their home turf.
Could be interpreted that way, yeah.
Uh,
And look at Oracle, too, another giant. They launched an AI agent studio, dozens of agents for Fusion Cloud apps, and they made the studio free, which just underscores how essential these features are now, just table stakes to compete.
wow, free. That says a lot.
It does. As one analyst put it, vendors are rethinking how users interact with their products by embedding AI into workflows. The big takeaway is agentic AI is transforming enterprise software, making apps more autonomous, more outcome-focused.
So the old model, software plus customer labor.
That's giving way to software with built-in digital labor, the AI agents.
So looking ahead then, what does this mean for the future of business operations, day to day? The report paints this picture of much more automated, adaptive workflows.
That's exactly right. And analysts predict this isn't decades away. Autonomous agents could become mainstream in business pretty soon, within the next few years.
Right.
Yeah, some projections say a majority of enterprise workflows might involve AI agents by 2027, and many large companies deploying complex agentic systems even sooner, maybe by 2026.
That's very soon.
It points towards this idea of the autonomous enterprise, where lots of routine decisions, operational tasks are handled by these networks of intelligent AI agents, continuously monitoring data, making adjustments, coordinating actions, with minimal human oversight for the routine stuff.
Sounds almost sci-fi. But the report gives an example, right? Like a fully autonomous supply chain.
Exactly. Imagine detecting a potential stock shortage.
Right.
All the way through placing the PO, managing the payment, tracking shipment, adjusting production schedules based on demand, all handled potentially by cooperating AI agents. And we're seeing early signs of this cross-system integration now, like IBM's watsonx Orchestrate agents integrating with Oracle ERP. The future likely holds much more interoperability between agents from different vendors.
So seamless flows across the whole ecosystem.
That's the vision. And these AI workflows will be highly adaptive. Learning from past results, responding intelligently to real-time changes.
Like an AI sales agent adjusting discounts based on competitor prices or customer loyalty.
Precisely. Which leads to what Deloitte calls context-aware and proactive services, where the AI basically becomes the new interface to your enterprise systems.
So instead of clicking through apps,
You might just state your desired outcome. I need to expedite this order and notify the customer. And the AI agent network figures out the steps and does it.
but this level of automation, it brings up practical challenges, right? Data integration, governance.
Oh, absolutely critical. The report really emphasizes this. Robust data integration, high data quality, they're non-negotiable for effective AI agents. Garbage in, garbage out still applies, maybe even more so.
Right.
Companies need solid data fabrics, integration layers to give agents that unified real-time view. And then there's governance and oversight. Hugely important.
How so?
Well, as AI makes more autonomous decisions, you need clear rules. Which decisions can be fully automated? How do you handle exceptions, edge cases that AI wasn't trained for? How do you audit these AI-driven processes for compliance, for accuracy?
Big questions.
Yeah.
And what about people? The human role in this automated future. Are jobs just disappearing?
The report suggests more of a shift, less of an elimination, at least for many roles. Instead of doing the routine tasks, employees might shift to overseeing portfolios of AI agents.
Like AI managers?
Kind of. AI workflow managers, digital workforce supervisors, things like that. There'll be a big need for reskilling, learning to interpret AI outputs, give high-level instructions, handle the exceptions.
So working with the AI and not being replaced by it necessarily?
That seems to be the predominant view for knowledge work. And those big platforms, ERPs and others, they likely become even more central. They become the orchestration hubs for all these AI-driven workflows, holding the master data, the core logic.
More indispensable than ever, maybe.
Could be. You might even see AI agents from different companies interacting automatically in the future, streamlining B2B processes. But the overall trend is clear. More autonomy, more speed, more intelligence embedded right into business workflows.
This has been a really, really fascinating deep dive. Agentic AI and how it's set to transform enterprise software. So as we wrap up, what's the single biggest takeaway you want listeners to hold on to?
I think the key takeaway is just how significant this transformation is. Agentic AI isn't just an incremental improvement. It's a fundamental shift away from traditional SaaS towards a future built on autonomous, intelligent workflows. And we've seen how the big players, SAP, Salesforce, ServiceNow, are leaning into this, each in their own way.
Driven by that potential for huge gains in productivity and efficiency.
Exactly. For businesses that embrace this change, the potential upside seems enormous.
Okay. And on that note, maybe a final thought for you, the listener, to chew on. With AI agents becoming potentially our digital colleagues pretty soon, how might that fundamentally change how work is structured? What skills become most valuable? And what new possibilities and maybe challenges pop up as these autonomous agents become more common in our daily work? Something to think about. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.